This is your dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. Starting from humble beginnings, Nick has been beating the markets for over 2 decades. He shares with you his take on the profitable trades that will have you moving towards financial freedom in no time at all. To see an in-depth review of his track record and much more, go to inthemoneystocks.com. Welcome. This is your daily dose of daily market wisdom with master trader Nick Santiago. I'm Kerry Lutz. Today is 10/7/20. This is show number 133. And, well, Nick, the stock market just got so slammed yesterday. I think it was Trump being Trump, the art of the deal, knowing that at 3 o'clock, 3:30, you blow this dynamite out, it's going to blow up the market. And that was his way of letting the Democrats know, I don't care. I'm not doing your deal. You have to negotiate in good faith. What's your take on it?
Well, I think he did the right thing. You know, I read the book, The Art of the Deal, many eons ago when I was a young guy. And one of the things was you got to walk away from the table sometime. And, honestly, there are people out there suffering. There are small businesses suffering. Just get a deal done. I mean, 1.6 trillion. Don't put all that pork in the bill. Just get it done. I don't understand the politicians. I'm not taking sides here. Maybe I am a little bit. But, I mean, there are people out there that could lose their business. There are people out there that are hurting. I'm not one of them, thank God, but there are people out there. I know many people in New York City. I know many people in Chicago. I know many people out in California that are suffering. And these are personal friends of mine that own businesses, and they just can't get any relief. So get a deal done. Do something here. I mean, is it always about politics? Is it always about this election? I think it is. And, again, there's no reason why they couldn't have something done already. It looks like they're going to pull something off today with the airlines. The airlines employ a ton of people. And honestly, this virus shutdown just killed the airline. So we'll see how that goes. But maybe that's what they have to do. They have to line item everything and get things passed that way.
Well, that's the way they should do it. These bills should be separate. They shouldn't have these massive bills where they lump in spending for every agency that you never heard of. I mean, it's about time we had some transparency here. Every department should have its own spending bill, and for large departments, the bill should be broken up. And they shouldn't be any more than 10 pages. Look, if Trump can put in an order no more than 75 pages for an environmental impact statement that used to run thousands, why can't he do that?
Yeah, I guess he could do it, and hopefully he will do it. So we'll see what comes out of it. But, again, there are people out there that are probably looking forward to this, some type of stimulus package passed. But if that's what we got to do, just go line by line, maybe that's better than nothing. And that'll save some jobs out there as hopefully this economy can open up. But I'm looking at New York City. I have friends in New York City that own restaurants, and their zip code is shut down, and it's absolutely a mess.
Yeah, a mess indeed. Hopefully there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but I tend to subscribe to what you said, Nick, which is that it's going to take years to unwind this situation.
More likely than not, it will, and I suppose that's where we are at this stage of the game. We're looking at just governors that almost refuse to just open up and get their economies back on track. I don't know how people can tolerate it, honestly.
Yeah, well, I know what you mean, man. It's a horrible situation. It's unnecessary. It's been induced by the deep state here and by these blue governors. And hopefully there's an end. We saw in Michigan, the Supreme Court shot down the governor, and yet now she says she's going to just go around their decision. We'll see how that works out. Courts generally don't like it when parties do end runs around their important decisions and their judgments, and they usually smack down the party that's doing it. We'll see what happens here. So the debate, all the buzz is about the debates. Nobody seems to can think about anything. But honestly, a vice presidential debate is all but irrelevant. Maybe it's a little more relevant in this case because, after all, Biden is non-compos mentis, and Kamala Harris, God forbid he ever got elected, would probably become the official president. And that's something that you need to really take a close look at.
Yeah, and I think they'll get good viewership tonight as this debate takes place. But and it could move the markets a bit. I wouldn't rule anything out, but I think it's going to be more entertainment than anything else. And we'll see how it plays out. But there's a lot of chatter today about the vice presidential debate tonight. So it'll be interesting to see what comes out of it. We'll see who can get their point across. Hopefully, we'll get some real talking points in this one, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I mean, that's all we can do. We don't really run the show here. We are just, I'd like to think, Nick, savvy observers who are able to capitalize upon movements in the news and in the markets and kind of help other people to do that.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes, there could be something that's a point that's made in the market, and, that could set the agenda going forward. I mean, a point that is made in the debate could set the agenda going forward in the future. So, these things can move markets, and, I'll be tuning in tonight to see how it goes.
Yeah. All right. So gold and silver, everything got slammed yesterday, Nick, but gold and silver really took a hit. And what happened there? Was it an opportunistic way to slam them down while they were seemingly heading upwards? Because we didn't break 1865. That seems to be resistance there. Right now, I don't know, what price do you have in the futures?
Yeah, I have the futures right now down about 24 points at 1885 right now. So we're floundering around that level. But overall, what happened yesterday was really just mass selling. Everybody just said no stimulus, not until after the election. You just saw selling across the board. It didn't matter what it was, gold miners, stocks, the major indexes, you name it, ETF, everything got sold across the board. So it was just one big, sell signal, one big panic signal. And this is what happens when you have light volume and you have all this algorithmic trading. When the selling comes in, it comes in quick, and you break one level, next thing you know, it triggers another sell signal. Break another level, the algos trigger another sell signal. So we had a really, really good sell-off yesterday, and, gold got hammered with it. But I've been saying, you're going to do a little bit more backing and filling. And then once we get that next inflationary run, I think gold goes up with the market included. So I think they're both going to go up together. And as I've been saying the last, couple of weeks, gold is trading right with the market right now. It's not trading separately because of fear or anything else. It's trading pretty much with the markets. And again, that's what happened yesterday. But today we have gold down a bit, and that's good to see. We're going to get a better entry price when we do get into that.
So we're getting closer, huh?
Yeah, every day you're getting a little bit closer. Just got to let these patterns play out. Again, when you get a monthly chart parabolic, it takes sometimes a few months, a couple or at least a few months to work itself out and build that pattern to go higher. Right now, I've been on the sidelines with gold, and as much as I love it longer term, the short term, I see the pattern, and I just be patiently just waiting in the brush for the opportunity, and I'll strike.
Yeah, and that's all we can hope for, right?
Yeah, that's all you want to see is just the pattern. You let the pattern tell you what to do. I know, weeks ago nobody thought we'd even get a little ABC down, and I'm still not involved in gold. I think we still need to do a little bit more shaking out. And once we do that, we'll get a very, very good opportunity. If you're a long-term holder of gold, you're fine. Don't worry about it right now. If you're a shorter-term trader like myself, then you want to make sure you try to get a more exact entry point to get back in. But I love what I'm seeing right now for gold. I'd love to see gold make actually a new low, because I think that's going to get people panicky. And, that's when I like. When everybody else don't like it, that's when I like it.
Hey, when there's blood in the streets, right?
When there's blood in the streets, that's always the best opportunity. But we're not going to see that. That happened in March. And I had some of my best trades in gold in March. But we're not going to get a blood in the streets type deal now. We're just going to get a little bit of what we call shaking out the weak hands.
Yeah. And it's a wonder how many weak hands there really are. These juniors, certainly you don't have a lot of margin ability in them. Often trading for less than $1, these stocks, so you can't margin them. I just wonder how many really weak hands there are, if it's just a test, because we do get tested regularly, right?
That's right, you do. And if you even look at the GDXJ, which is a good ETF for the junior miners, it's been holding up exceptionally well. So I'd like to see just more consolidation. If it wants to hold up like this, that's great. Just consolidate a little bit further, and you'll see that opportunity will come. But it's the same pattern, whether it's gold futures, the GLD, the GDX, GDXJ. They all have pretty much the same pattern, which is that parabolic move. And now we got really what I like to coin as beautiful consolidation. So just let it consolidate, let it give you that base, and then it'll set up for another move higher. Right now, it doesn't look poised for another breakout to the upside yet.
All right. Well, we're going to see what happens next. Make sure you go over to Nick's site, inthemoneystocks.com, where his trading record resides. Check out the Twitter feeds at ITMS, at NickSantiago01, and at Kerry Lutz. And send us your emails with your thoughts, kl@kerrylutz.com. Nick, we'll talk to you tomorrow.
Sounds good, Kerry. Thank you.
And so concludes another episode of Daily Market Wisdom with Master Trader Nick Santiago. Be sure to go to his website, inthemoneystocks.com. Don't forget the Twitter feeds at ITMS and at NickSantiago01.